Tiffany Stratton just won the Money in the Bank contract, and it seemed like WWE is teasing even more big things for her. We'll also check out what's new with Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and more. Starting things off with Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany is one of WWE's biggest young stars, with the highest amount of potential for the future. Tiffany had no independent scene experience. She's a full product of the WWE Performance Center, and just started training over 3 years ago. But in that short amount of time, she already proved that she could hang with the best of the best. And when Tiffany started connecting with the fans earlier in the year and getting loud reactions from the crowd, especially as a heel, everyone knew it was only a matter of time before WWE went all in on her. And it looks like Money in the Bank was the official starting point of Tiffany's arrival as a top star in the company. Tiffany secured the Money in the Bank contract and won it, making her the biggest threat to technically both women's champions. Even though WWE says that the contract is valid towards both women's titles, the contract holder usually only cashes in on their respective brand's champion, meaning that Tiffany Stratton is most likely going to cash in on the WWE women's title on Smackdown. What's also on Tiffany's side when it comes to the Money in the Bank contract is that the women's contract has a 100% successful cash-in rate, so history is on her side there. Bayley is right around 100 days into her title reign, and now the odds are really being stacked against her. Bayley already has a date at SummerSlam with the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax, to defend her WWE women's title. But now you gotta throw on the extra added threat of Tiffany Stratton looming over the match, with a potential cash-in at any time. So it's going to be some pretty tough circumstances for Bayley to get through over these next few weeks here. And like we spoke about before, WWE, under the Triple H regime, loves to use the Money in the Bank contract to advance tension and other storylines. That's why last year's winner had some deep stories connected to it. Damian Priest holding the Money in the Bank contract caused some conflict, because while Finn was actively trying to win the world title from Seth Rollins, Damian kept lurking with the contract, acting as if he would cash in on Finn if the opportunity was right. So it created some nice tension and story there. And it looks like WWE will be recreating a similar situation with the 2024 Women's Money in the Bank contract. Nia Jax didn't actually help Tiffany Stratton win the contract, but we do know that Nia and Tiffany came together and formed an alliance a few weeks ago, and now the integrity of their partnership will be tested and pushed to its limits because there's some new conflict there. Tiffany and Nia don't really have their eyes on the women's tag team titles. They both have their eyes on the WWE women's title. So it looks like they're going to recreate a little bit of that Finn and Damian aspect from 2023. Where maybe at a point during Nia Jax and Bayley's SummerSlam match, Tiffany Stratton will come out and tease a cash-in, and this will only cause Nia to get upset and get confused with Tiffany for ruining her title match. Obviously, it's going to be hard for Nia and Tiffany to continue as a team if Tiffany shows signs of not caring and willing to cash in on Nia Jax. So that definitely appears to be what WWE is setting up as the main sub-story to Tiffany's Money in the Bank contract. How much will the threat of holding that contract affect her partnership with Nia Jax? And will it ultimately cause that partnership to collapse? And things don't end there for Tiffany. She also had a very interesting backstage segment with Trish Stratus that appeared to be heavily hinting at the idea of seeing Trish versus Tiffany in the middle of the ring in a match. Tiffany teased Trish and made fun of her by saying that Trish's time in the ring is long gone. And the fact that we all saw that segment take part on the show, it has fans feeling like that really was a heavy teaser that Trish Stratus isn't done in the ring at all. She had her big final heel run in 2023, but it looks like Trish's big final babyface run could still be on the way. Trish herself even said in a recent interview that she's not retired at all, and she's just staying ready for the next big call and opportunity from WWE. So the fact that they planted those seeds for Trish versus Tiffany is very intriguing, and it could end up being something they revisit in the future. Tiffany was asked about the possibility of facing Trish during the Money in the Bank press conference, and Tiffany said that she'd absolutely love to have that match. So it looks like a lot of great things are coming up for Tiffany Stratton. So most definitely keep an eye on her in the near future. Speaking of the Money in the Bank contracts, there's a heated debate going on amongst the fans regarding the men's Money in the Bank contract. Drew McIntyre won the Money in the Bank contract, and he lived up to what he promised to do. He cashed in on the very same night, just hours later during the Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins match. But after the contract had been redeemed, CM Punk came out to make his return and screw Drew McIntyre out of the World Heavyweight title once again, and caused Drew to have a failed cash-in. And this outcome split the fans up into two groups. You had your fans that love how the failed cash-in deepened the story between Drew and Punk, but you also had your group of fans that were a bit bummed out that the men's Money in the Bank was wasted so fast like that. And now we'll have to wait another entire calendar year before seeing another men's winner for the contract. Even some fans were feeling like the situation devalued the contract, because they must have had no plans for the contract this year around. So they quickly wrote the briefcase off of television within hours. But just like what we were speaking about during the Tiffany Stratton portion, Triple H loves to fuel the Money in the Bank contracts with extra added narratives all around it. And sure, it may have been a fast failed cash-in, but he still added lots of narratives to it. Starting with Drew McIntyre's character. Drew's character has become very bitter, angry, and extremely impatient. And because of those traits, he's thinking and strategizing with the usage of the Money in the Bank contract was clearly affected. He just wasn't thinking at all. It wasn't the ideal situation for a cash-in, but since the character has been screwed out of the world title so many times in recent memory, he no longer had any patience. He just wanted to rush it and not really think about it or properly plan it. And because of that poor thinking and rushing mentality, it basically resulted in a failed cash-in. So even though some fans are bummed out about the briefcase being written off so fast, the actions from Drew McIntyre's character and the result perfectly makes a lot of sense for the story. He's driven with rage and obsession with the world title that it messes up the execution of his plans. It also heavily deepens the feud between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. CM Punk has now cost Drew McIntyre the world title at WrestleMania 40, Clash at the Castle, and Money in the Bank. So the contract may not physically be there anymore, but it will heavily advance the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre story in a major way. And if CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre does end up taking place at SummerSlam, it's going to feel very important and meaningful, considering all the recent history between them, and even the older history that goes back much deeper. It's going to be one of the most important non-title matches on the SummerSlam card. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.